Let's get perspectives now to this. Public affairs analyst Peter Esele joins me on the news at 10. Mr. Esele, why do you think it's a bit practically impossible to adequately and accurately account for the millions of liters consumed on a daily basis in Nigeria?
Well, thank you. Good evening, and thank you for having me. I think it's just because of the way we do things here. This is supposed to be very easy for us to know. Technology would solve all of this problem, but because a lot of under the table deals. But I would rather look at the glass as half full rather than half empty. I think this is a welcome development. When you have a disagreement among various state agencies, it means that they are working for the people. When there are no disagreement and we all have our concerns, and then you know something is going wrong. So what we need now is to have a third party to go ahead and look at it. The third party will be the National Assembly to now confirm, because if you import for any liter of petrol that is brought into the country, custom is one of the agencies that will be there. The Standard Organization of Nigeria will also be there to confirm the quality. And then you have the downstream regulatory authority who will also be there. So there are a whole lot of documents that you can go through to actually verify, are we actually consuming 68 million liters a day? Or if we are not, then where are the products going to? So these are questions that we should ask. But I'm happy about the disagreement between the customer and the NNPC.
Indeed, as we speak now, there is a deficit of some 38 million liters between what is lifted and what is consumed. But the federal government now has planned to eventually have the subsidy removed by next year. How prepared would you say the country is?
Now you see, the subsidy has two ways to look at it. You have the economic aspect of the subsidy, and then you have the political aspect of the subsidy. Right now, if you take away subsidy, a liter of petrol will go for 462 naira. So are we ready for that social dislocation that will result if you move it to 462 naira? So that's something that this administration is trying to avoid. Because what this government has done now is to kick the can down the road. They said they are taking it off next year. Next year will be probably after the election. So it's not going to be the current president that will deal with it. It's going to be the incoming president for next year. So are they prepared? That's the million naira question that we should ask. If you are prepared, one, you must be able to prove to Nigerians the exact quantity of product that we consume. That's one. Then number two, you must tell us where the products are going. What we've been hearing is that one of the reasons why subsidy needs to go, we are in debt, and then you have people smuggling this product across the road, across the border. But you and I know that there are trackers for trucks. Trucks are tracked. So if I am in their shoes, every liter of petrol will be accounted for, because there are technology to ensure that every liter of petrol that is brought into the country remains in the country. And whoever contravenes that will be prosecuted according to the law. But government is not doing all of this. I don't want to accuse anybody of doing a lot of this under the table, but you and I know that there are a lot of challenges that technology will solve.
The PIB is now an act, and this administration is proud of what it's done, having waited for many years to have this Petroleum Industry Act come to fruition. How optimistic are you about this new law fixing some of these challenges?
But if you still look at the Petroleum Industry Act that we're talking about, it has not served as a catalyst for investors to come in. So what you've had mainly is still the same NNPC that is making all the noises about it, or wanting to take advantage of the bill. Because investors are still very careful. Because you and I know that after a while, right now, a section of that act is suspended. Because immediately you pass that, it becomes a law. Right now, you would have been going on dealing with subsidy removal. Now, what you have, none of that is happening. So investors are also being very careful so that they don't bring in money, and at the end of the day, they're not getting anything. Your earlier correspondent reported about the bridging claim by the truckers. And they are right. The bridging claim by the truckers is also part of the subsidy. So why are they not being paid? Why are you owing them over 50 billion? And meanwhile, every month we are told that this is subsidy amount. So if you are taking subsidy amount, why are the truckers not getting their bridging claim paid?
As we speak now, the Northern Apemen are on a 3-day strike and have down tools and pledged not to take a product to some 9 NNPC depot in that part of the country. We have to leave it here for now. Public Affairs Analyst Peter Esele, thank you for talking to us tonight.
Thank you for having me.